Hey, what's up, guys? Just at my desk here, get a cup of joe, and look what just showed up. Just came in the mail. Ta-da! Boop, 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 boop. Super-Vee Tremolo Systems presents the Mag-Lok Tremolo Anti-Deflection Device. The Mag-Lok is the only tremolo bridge anti-deflection device powered by rare earth magnets. So I'm going to pop this into one of my tremolo guitars, and we're going to check it out. And I am super stoked to check this out because, well, I'll get into it in the video. Floating tremolos are awesome, but they also suck in many ways. And just even straight up tremolos can be a problem. So this is really gonna help with, you know, all kinds of issues that I'll get into. But I just wanted to do a quick I wouldn't call it unboxing, unopening of the Mag-Lok. This is what it will show up like when it comes in, and I will pop it in, and we can talk about it, and I'll give you a little demo on it. So I'll be back in a little bit after I get this loaded up into probably one of my Ibanez guitars. You know, I'll try and pick a guitar that's, you know, that's pretty cool, and we'll give it a whirl. All right, guys, talk to you. See you in a few seconds. Actually, be 1 second for you and several minutes for me. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Hey, what's up, dudes? So I'm going to use this guitar to show you basically what that Mag-Lok product does. I got the Mag-Lok in the Strat, and I'm going to use the Ibanez with the Floyd Rose to show you sort of like what it does. Well, you know, when you have a floating trem, and I made that into a floating trem so it wasn't sitting on the face, to really show off sort of what it does. When you have a floating trem, it's all about balance, right? You have an amount of tension on the face, and you offset that tension on the back with the springs, and you get it so your bridge isn't too far up or too far down, and you know, you just get it just right, and that's what it's all about. The problem is you break that balance every time you bend a string because you're introducing just a little bit more additional tension. So when you bend up, especially if you do a double stop bend like this, you know, the note that you're going to and the note that you're hitting, they're in tune with each other, but they're probably not going to be in tune with the bass player, because when you bend a note, and I'm going to use the low E for exaggeration, so you can hear how the extra tension, you know, really, you know, adds that. The other thing is you get sort of like a wobble. Hear that? See if I can get it to go. Like right there. This bar is a little too loose to do, like what I'm trying to do, but you get the idea. Like I noticed in the Hoochie Coo video, a couple of times I would hit a note so hard, like right almost there, that it warbles the bridge a little bit, right? So if you have a super hard attack, you can almost hear that little bit of warble. So between the string sag and the general instability of a Strat without a locking system, you know, I was looking for a trem stabilizer. I actually wanted to try the thing in the Ibanez first because I thought that was a sort of a meaner target. The problem is that the Ibanez guitars they have this bolt down plate that goes over the bottom of the block, So when the springs go in these very tiny holes, and they're nice and snug, and then they have 2 screw holes in a plate, and you put the 2 screws in the plate and screw it down, and that really like locks the springs in. So when you want to add something like this, the stabilizer, we generally do when you want to add another spring, you take out the one of the screws and you put a spring or something in there, but it was just too loose. That screw hole is much larger than the spring hole, so it was like floating around in there, and it would be unfair to Super-Vee, the company that makes Mag-Lok, if I came on here and said, oh yeah, it doesn't really work that great, because it wasn't a fair test. So I took it out, I put it in the Strat. Boom, worked instantly, exactly as advertised. So we'll switch over to the Strat. I use this to show you, basically the problem, and that's the going out of tune. We got that, so I'm going to switch to this guitar, and we can see the Mag-Lok in action. So we'll see if it works. It does. All right. See you in a second. Hey, back with the Strat. I got my leg caught up here. All right, let's get this. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so there's the device right there. Ye old Mag-Lok, and I have the bridge set to flow. And we can try the. I'm not really seeing much movement in the bridge itself. Take a close look at that. No, really no movement at all. Even look for the back. No, it looks pretty solid. I'm not really seeing any movement, so I'd say that's staying in pretty damn good tune, especially for this guitar. This guitar notoriously goes out of tune. In fact, before I put the device in, and before I put the Mag-Lok in the back, I had it flush to the face to make it a little bit more stable, and I have a graphite string tree, and I use a little bit of the ceramic lube in the nut to try and keep it in tune, because this nut will pinch. But that sounds pretty good, But you hear that? You don't hear the pitch fall, That sounds pretty good, right? think it works. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It stop the sag, you know. And you can hear it a little bit. And I can see it on the tuner a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as it was on that other guitar, on the Ibanez, you know. And don't forget, even the neck. Now, you can't put all the blame on the bridge, right? I think it's staying. I think I can honestly say, especially for a floating bridge. It's staying in pretty good tune. I think it's definitely staying in better tune than before I had it in there. This guitar wasn't known for its tuning stability. But that sounds pretty, you know, pretty good to me. I mean, certainly usable, you know. And just, you know, in terms of technique, because the bridge doesn't come forward, you can reach notes faster. So you don't have to bend that little bit extra. To get to the note you want to, you know, you're trying to reach, because the bridge isn't coming forward, sort of fighting you on it on the way. You know, it's. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. The company that makes this is a company called Super-Vee, and basically I was looking up for a tremolo stabilizer, and they were the only one that didn't use a spring, and I wanted to really try it out, and so I picked one of those up right there, and it uses a magnet for its force, right, to help stabilize the bridge. Plus, if you've ever seen the installation video for some of the spring ones, and you know, you have to drill a big hole up into the back, it looked like more hassle than it was worth. You know, I think this does the job, and this just dropped in and it was pretty fast. Just popped it in the. It works so much better in the Strat because the Strat had the proper size hole, so the proper, you know, size spring hole. And I'm sure I could get it, and I'll probably try it in one of my Ibanez guitars. Just take a spring out and then just adjust the claw to make up for the tension. And I probably have a couple of springs around here that are a little bit extra tension. You know, springs aren't all the same size. Might have some bigger springs around here I can use for a little bit more tension. So between that, you know, I can probably get it in and try it on a Floyd Rose. But on the Strat, it dropped right in. Alright guys, that's about it. Probably call it a night. Rock on.